Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be giving you the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling that I covered. So I'm going to be giving you the results for AEW Revolution, plus a little TNA. That's right. Sorry, no SmackDown or Rampage. I had plans Friday. Then no Collision because I had an unexpected plan on Saturday. So, my apologies for that. We shall be getting back into regularly scheduled programming coming this week. So, let's get into the results for AEW Revolution, in which we start off with Christian Cage successfully defending his AEW TNT title against Daniel Garcia, thanks to outside interference from Nick Wayne. Eddie Kingston successfully defends his Continental Crown title against Bryan Danielson. Wardlow wins an 8-man scramble match where the winner receives a future AEW title shot. Other participants include Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus from CMLL, and Dante Martin. Roderick Strong beats Orange Cassidy for the international title, and post-match saw the return of Kyle O'Reilly, who doesn't seem all that eager to join the Undisputed Kingdom. So, looks like we have another opponent. The Blackpool Combat Club, that's John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, beat Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler by submission. Timeless Toni Storm successfully defends her AEW Women's title against Deonna Purrazzo. Will Ospreay beats Konosuke Takeshita in a one-on-one bout, more than likely a 5-star banger. Samoa Joe successfully defends his AEW World title against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. And Fine Alamo, our main event, as Sting and Darby Allin successfully defend the AEW Tag Team titles against Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, in what is Sting's final bout in wrestling. So that means the tag titles are now vacated, and we are going to see a tournament going forward to crown new champions. I'm in. So, from what I've seen online, this has been a very successful, entertaining show. So that is that. Now we move right into TNA Wrestling, who give up small video tributes for Ole, Anderson, and Virgil, who recently passed away. May they rest in peace. Our first matchup sees Speedball Mike Bailey take on Steve Macklin in what was a really good technical versus, more X Division style matchup, including with, obviously interferences from the Rascals, with Trent Seven seconding Mike Bailey. Bailey tries for the Ultima Weapon that he misses. The KIA is blocked. Right into a suplex, only for a 2 count. Right into a KIA for your winner, Steve Macklin. Post-match, Macklin gets on a microphone. Pretty much says, "This is what I do best. I'm going to continue to stack bodies and take people out. And that's why I took out Nick Nemeth. He claims all this prestige and doesn't show up. He's going to be a leech off TNA, and then he's going to move on to bigger things." At that point, Nick Nemeth shows up on the big screen and he's holding the New Japan Global Championship. Pretty much saying, look, only reason I'm not there is I'm winning gold in Japan, and I cannot wait to come back. And at Sacrifice, which is going down this Friday, you go one-on-one with me. What do you say, kid? And then Nemeth walks off. Ooh, a Nick Nemeth Macklin match? I'm in. Next up, we see Frankie Kazarian showing up back in the parking lot, being stopped by security guards and personnel. He then said, the interviewer says, you got, Santino suspended you for what you did to Eric Young last week. You're not allowed in the building. Kaz then says, alright, I'll leave, but I've got a message for Santino. Is this the right thing to do? Ooh, some fighting words from Kaz. Can't wait to see what he's got up his sleeve. Next match, we got Jake Something being built up potentially as the next X Division challenger, taking on Laredo Kid. Always good to see Laredo Kid. This was definitely a really good speed versus power matchup. They definitely worked well, at least at first. There were some small mistakes, like at one point Laredo Kid overshot a moonsault. That results in a roll-up, only for a 2. And then Jake Something hits an Into the Void for the big win. So next we got Big Con. He's sitting backstage. He's got security. Then Alan Angels rolls up. Con asked, why are you late? And then Angels tries to come up with every excuse in the book. This turns into a sound check interview segment, which I'm going to say these have been entertaining. And I'm glad they're spread out a little bit more. Then Angels tells Khan that he's proud of him for taking out PCO. You don't need no... then Angels continues, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm glad you're on your own. But do you feel bad about breaking up the And then Khan stops him. He then says, I don't need no one to lead me. You better watch your mouth. But hey, today we're both doing great stuff. I'm the hardest man in TNA. And no one... Just then, the lights go out. Lights come back on. And PCO's in there. He's kind of screaming at Khan. And then Alan Angels tries to get up in his face. PCO pushes him out of the way. And then Khan and PCO go to hit each other. And it fades to black. So we're getting a big match between them sometime soon. So I'm ready for a hoss fight. Next match up, we got a tag team match player. As AJ Francis, the former Top Dollar, teams up with Diener, former leader of the Design, to take on Rich Swann and the local hero himself, Joe Hendry. It's been far too long since Joe Hendry has had a match. This was definitely a very interesting matchup. You got big guy AJ Francis kind of taking it easy on Rich Swann because he's trying to recruit him. But then Rich Swann fights back. Dino trying his best to keep up, but he's definitely outclassed a bit by Swann and Hendry. And then Hendry with a cutter into a standing ovation to pick up the win for his team. At that point, I thought Rich Swann was going to turn on Hendry, but that did not happen. We then go backstage for a Decay promo. And they're in their white void room, whatever the heck that is. Pretty much saying at No Surrender, Decay had the element of surprise, but obviously that power is fleeting. Patience is a virtue, and the spirits invited us to business. We've been given a gift, and we must give thanks. Ignore that blessing, and the deal made would never dig our grave. Can you say the same? And then it ends on like an urn or something. It was very weird. We then get a backstage interview with Josh Alexander, talking about his upcoming match with new TNA signing Alexander Hammerstone, which, great signing by TNA, saying this match is going to be tough, but like I did the first time, I'm going to beat. But as soon as he was trying to continue, Dirty Dangle and his crew roll up, pretty much saying, trying to plug his wrestling school. Then Josh interrupts him saying, look, are you looking for a fight? Dangle says, no, I'm looking for recruits. Only 1 year of wrestling or fewer. And then Josh says, look, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. So next week, be ready. And then Dangle tries plugging his school again, only to walk off. This Dangle character is definitely interesting. Gonna be interesting to see where this goes. We then go to the Mustafa Ali Championship Inauguration Celebration. Say that 10 times fast. As the Good Hands introduce Ali, he comes out with his, nameless entourage. He gets to the ring. There's a podium in the ring, and it's set up like a, election celebration, which is interesting. Then Ali gets on the mic. He said, we did it. We accepted change. We made the X Division great again, which makes me cringe. You believed in Ali, we trust, and as the new champ, I'm here to issue my first order, but before he can get to that, out comes former champion Chris Sabin. He gets in the ring, and he says, do me a favor, Ali, step down from that podium and talk to me like a man. Ali does that. Ali then says, floor is yours. Sabin then continues, we obviously are both very different. We both believe in change. I'm all about showing people what they can accomplish and anything if they believe in themselves. But with you, the change is obviously only about you. You have others do the dirty work for you while you take all the glory. I'd still be the champ if the Good Hands didn't help you. Ali then replies, these two are obviously nothing more than my campaign support, but at No Surrender, oddly, no one supported you. Sabin then comes back, I'm obviously not a politician. I respect your opinion. I'm not here to debate, just a fight. And then he just cold cocks Ali. The Good Hands then jump on Sabin with the security guards trying to get them off of each other. Then Kushida and Kevin Knight make the save to even the odds. So at Sacrifice, we're getting a 6-man match, playa. So that's going to be a fun one. Then right after this, Ash by Alex's concierge comes out, says, oh, we got a big announcement. We got a big something to do. He brings out Ash by Elegance, and she pretty much says, I'm going to return to the ring next week. So, honestly, this is pretty funny. It feels like a kind of a mix of Timeless Tony Storm and like Eva Marie. It's a great trolling character, and it's funny. We then get Ali in the good hands. They're backstage. Ali's like, these guys ruined my night. They ruined my popularity. And Sabin, Knight, Kushida, actions have consequences. And then he walks off. So, and obviously that 6-man match was made for Sacrifice, in which they got a 90... I'm not going to do Steiner math. Our next matchup, we got Xia Brookside taking on Tasha Steele, with the winner facing Jordynne Grace at Sacrifice. And this match was... Honestly, I think their first match was way better, but this was still a really, really good matchup. One point, we have Brookside going for the Brooksy Bomb, but that gets countered right into a nasty-looking dropkick. At one point, both are on the outside. Ref is doing his count. They're both brawling. And then Xia tries to get in to break up the count. Tasha grabs her legs, stops her. 10. So a double count out finish for this match, which I'm a little disappointed in, but I kind of understand what they're doing here. Then out comes the champ, Jordynne Grace. She says, I've been watching from the back. I'm going to make things easy for everyone here. You both want this shot at this title, and I'm going to give it to you both. So how about a triple threat match for Sacrifice, in which, yes please. We then get a Cursefield Rhino promo backstage, in which he's challenging Crazy Steve to a new DQ match next week. He's going to hit him with a gore. I love Rhino. And we move on to our main event of the evening, and it's a 6-man tag team match playa. It's the System, that's Moose, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, take on the ABC, that's Ace Austin and Chris Bay, and Eric Young, who has his shot at the world title at Sacrifice. And this match was super dang good. Like, everyone getting their stuff in. Chris Bay and Moose have a really good kind of mini match between themselves. End of the day, we get a the ABC hit the 1-2 sweet. That's the art of finesse in the fold on Moose, but that only results in a 2 count. Then Myers with a bunch of super kicks. Then Alicia Edwards gets up on the apron, distracts Chris Bay. Eddie Edwards with a big drop kick, gets in Myers, and they hit a backpack stunner elbow drop combination to pick up the win for their team. And then that sets up Myers and Edwards taking on the ABC for the tag titles at Sacrifice. So, Sacrifice looks like it's going to be a pretty dang good show. I'm going to try my best to cover it because I don't know if it's on YouTube Insiders. This is going down on Friday, so that should be a fun one. And I guess I'll do predictions just in case. So, like I said, should be a fun week. Definitely should be getting back to our regularly scheduled programming with tonight's Monday Night Raw, NWA Power tomorrow, AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. Thursday is still just TNA, but next week MLW Fusion is coming back, so that should be a fun one. Friday is SmackDown and Rampage, although that's also Sacrifice. And then Saturday, it's Collision. So, not for some unforeseen plans, I should be covering all of them. So, that is it from me. I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.